Test, test. City Attorney Pucci, can you hear us?
I heard it. I saw him speaking.
Yeah.
Yes, I can, everybody.
His head.
Can't hear him, can you?
Mm-mm.
Test.
Can hear you loud and clear. Good evening, council.
Is there a reason we couldn't hear him?
I could have heard something.
He was talking.
I don't know.
Can anybody hear me now?
So this is where I would put. So I can just put president.
You can, but to be like not confused, I usually do it when I go in. So start at the bottom and move your way up to the top when it's time for.
Can you just say council members?
Yes. Just
What do you think is bringing so many people here today?
proclamations.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Clearlake City Council. We're meeting here at 14050 Olympic Drive in Clearlake, California. It is April the 6th. It is 6 p.m. And we are meeting under our regular meeting rules, though we will have people joining us from Zoom. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Councilmember Slotin,
Here.
Councilmember Overton,
Here.
Councilmember Kremer,
Here.
Councilmember Vice Mayor Claffey,
Here.
Mayor Purdock.
Here. Councilmember Kramer, will you lead us in the pledge? Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. If you would just remain standing if you choose to, and I'd like to offer a little prayer. Father in heaven, we ask that you would join with us tonight to help lead us and guide us through the good work that we want to do here for the citizens of Clearlake and our guests and people in all areas that are affected by the decisions that will be made here. Father, we ask for calm and repose as we try to work out the many difficulties that are occurring, not just here locally and in our county, but state and federally. We ask that we can come together once again as a nation to solve and discuss and resolve our issues peacefully. We ask for all these things in the name of your Son. Amen. Amen. Mr. Flores, are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
I move that we adopt the agenda. Second. A motion by Councilmember Slogan and a second by Councilmember. Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Just do this.
Thank you for your patience. All right. We have some presentations and proclamations to read. So I hope that you will bear with me as I do that. Let me get them in order first. Chief Hobbs, would you mind joining me at the podium? Sure. First two. So I can see you, not here today. First proclamation I would like to read is one that is very personal to me. Having served as a peace officer for many years, one of the there are a couple of groups that need advocates, and that's our children and our seniors. So April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. If you see something that's out of place or doesn't seem right, report it. Call your local law enforcement. Call the district attorney's office, but report it. Don't let it just continue. So with that, I would just like to read this proclamation. Whereas over 3.6 million children are reported abused and neglected in the United States each year, and it's estimated that over 1,750 children died from abuse and neglect in a single year. And whereas child abuse prevention is a community problem, all citizens should become more aware of the effects of child abuse and its prevention, and finding solutions depends on the involvement of the people throughout the community. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs and activities that create strong and thriving children and families. And whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships created among social services agencies, schools, religious and civic organizations, law enforcement agencies, and business communities, and supporting parents in raising their children in a safe and nurturing environment. And whereas current local initiatives to prevent child abuse include building resilience, a countywide collaboration, adverse childhood experiences, nurturing families program, different response, RCS wraparound services, motherwise and protective factors. And whereas being held for the month of April this year are a pinwheel challenge, and child abuse information is being shared on media for the month. April 12th is Wear Blue Ribbon for Children Day. On April 15th in Lakeport's Library Park, and on April 29th in Austin Park here in Clearlake will be the Children's Festival.
Placemats are being placed at local businesses and around the lake that support the month of April as child abuse prevention. And now therefore be it proclaimed that the City Council of the City of Clearlake does hereby proclaim April 2023 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Lake County, and calls upon its citizens, community agencies, religious organizations, medical facilities, and businesses to increase their participation in efforts to prevent child abuse, thereby strengthening the community in which we live. Dated this 6th day of April and presented by the Clear Lake City Council. Mr. Falkenberg, I see you in the back. Is there a member of your team that would like to come forward and receive this? I'd like to introduce Brock Falkenberg, our LCOE, Lake County Office of Education Superintendent. You love pinwheels? Absolutely. Thank you. Would you like to come up here and say anything? I will follow Jamie. Follow Jamie. Yes.
All right. Here is some goodies for you guys.
We love goodies. Who should I give these goodies to?
Anyone.
Anyone I want.
Yeah, you pick and you choose.
This is like Christmas. Okay,
All
well,
right,
you go
where do
first.
you want me to stand?
You know, so
Here?
they can see you in TV Zoom land.
All right.
Why don't you come around here like I did?
Okay.
Since you're the delegated speaker.
Today I'll be just. Yes, that's me.
If you guys want to come over here, so then everybody can kind of see you, because we're working on that monitor right there to your right.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you guys for presenting this proclamation. It means as much to me as it does to you, and I hope it means everything to this community. The future prosperity of our community, our state, and our nation depends on our ability to foster the health and well-being of our next generation. Innovative states and communities have been able to design high-quality programs to reduce and prevent child abuse. These programs have created significant long-term improvements for all of our children and are the kinds of innovations that we need today. We now know that the basic architecture of a human brain is constructed through an ongoing process that begins before birth and continues in through adulthood. When you build a house, for instance, you go step by step, building a strong foundation. And just like a house, a strong foundation in a child's early years increases the probability of positive outcomes. A weak foundation, however, increases the odds of later difficulties. Some stress is inevitable in life. Children can experience positive stress, such as successfully meeting a challenge of learning a new skill. They may also experience difficult situations such as family moving, a death of a loved one, or other challenging circumstances. When this stress is buffered through an environment of supportive relationships, this stress becomes tolerable and less damaging to our children's development. Experiencing a chronic stressful condition such as neglect or abuse is what scientists call a toxic stress, and it can disrupt developing brain architecture. This can lead to lifelong difficulties in learning, memory, and self-regulation. And children who are exposed to these serious early stress developments have an exaggerating stress response that over time weakens their defense system against diseases and can cause diabetes and even depression, as in the toxic stress. So our community has built a very strong foundation, which includes the 5 protective factors that contribute to positive supporting relationships. And by supporting events that take place not just in April, which I'll tell you about, and he's told you about in the proclamations, that helps build this support, and we can help to end the fight and cycle that it to end child abuse. And this takes everybody. So we're encouraging everyone to attend the to put up their pinwheel gardens. We have pinwheels for all of you guys too. To wear blue on April 12th, to attend our advocacy walks and our we have a flag raising ceremony. I don't know why we call it a ceremony. It's more of an ending. It's like the end to April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. That happens on April 28th at the Sheriff's Department in Lakeport as well. So I'm encouraging everyone to attend all of those events and support the cause and end our cycle of child abuse.
Good evening. My name is Angela Curry, and I am a social worker supervisor at Lake County Child Welfare Services.
I'm Shalisa Miller. I am also a social work supervisor for child welfare.
The Lake County Child Welfare Service Agency partners with local tribes, public agencies, community-based organizations, and local law enforcement to protect children at highest risk of abuse and neglect, and to intervene when needed to ensure that children do not remain in harmful situations. Child welfare social workers engage families in affecting positive change and seek to preserve the integrity of family systems and tribal connections while ensuring safety from abuse and neglect. Lake County Child Welfare appreciates and acknowledges the efforts of all community partners in keeping our children safe and preventing child abuse and neglect. Additionally, we thank this council for recognizing the importance of these prevention efforts for our county's children and families.
Just real briefly, I'm sure everyone is aware that our school staff, our teachers, our administrators struggle with abuse-related issues every day, on a regular basis. So on behalf of the schools, I want to make sure that I thank the city for all your efforts to address child abuse-related issues, large or small, and the efforts that you make to support us. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Briefly, on behalf of the police department, I just want to thank all the agencies and people in the community that are out there reporting things to us, or the sheriff's office, law enforcement, to help us protect children out there. And I want to specifically thank all the agencies that are involved, whether it's through the schools, welfare services, domestic violence resource staff, everyone that partakes in helping to help the children and make things safe as they can for the children. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure you have one.
Thank you. Thank
you.
Just so you guys know, if you do a pinwheel garden or a presentation of pinwheels, if you hashtag Resilient Lake County and post them, we're doing a huge contest. There's prizes, there's trophies, there's a lot of fun stuff. So share your pinwheel challenge garden.
Who doesn't want fun stuff? All right, next on the top of things to do is Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Do you have any telecommunicators here, Chief? It'd be wonderful to have them step up front and center. If you guys ever want to enter a stressful environment, come and sit in the dispatch center on a Saturday evening when there's a fire going on, or a big event maybe at the park, and you're going to see people sitting at that console. They're just cool as cucumbers. Everything's rolling right. You got cops out in the field screaming at them to get them information back, but that doesn't bother you, does it? There you go. So let's recognize them this month. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services. Whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Clearlake Police Department Emergency Communications Center. And whereas public safety telecommunications are the first and most critical contact of our citizens with the emergency services. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers, our firefighters, by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. And whereas public safety telecommunications of the Clearlake Police Department have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job this past year. Therefore, be it resolved that the Clearlake City Council, City of Clearlake, declares the week of April 9th through the 15th, 2023, to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the City of Clearlake, and in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our citizens and city safe. Dated this day by City Council, City of Clearlake. Thank you very much. And the guys in the back too. Thank you all very much for all you do to support them.
Just want to say thank you to both of you and all your coworkers at the police department. We definitely, like you mentioned in there, there's a lot of things. You guys do a tremendous amount of work for us, helping keep the community safe. We appreciate the work you do. We're very glad you have all chosen to work here and help us protect this community. So thank you.
Population can actually pass the test to even get into the background process to be a dispatcher.
I don't know the exact percentage, but the written
like
test for
0.03
dispatch
or
is
something.
very, very, very low.
Yeah,
It's very difficult.
very difficult. These are special people.
Thank you.
Thank you both for being here. Okay, another one that kind of tugs at your heartstrings and is very important for community members to be involved with. If you're a mandated reporter, you've got a job to do, have the guts to do it. Children out there, if you need to talk to somebody and you're not getting help from the person that you first report to, please seek someone else out. Don't stay in an abusive relationship or abusive environment. This is designating the month of April 2023 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Whereas in 2023, the Lake County agencies, in 2022, Lake County agencies responded to the needs of 473 sexual assault victims and their significant others and or family members. And whereas no person, organization, agency, or community can eliminate sexual assault on their own, and the partnership between public and private Lake County agencies is invaluable. And whereas child sexual abuse prevention must be a priority to confront the reality that children are being abused. 1 in 6 boys and 1 in 4 girls will experience sexual assault before the age of 18. Let that sink in. Whereas Lake Family Resource Center has been instrumental in leading the way in the county of Lake in addressing sexual assault by providing a 24-hour hotline service, continuing support, advocacy, and accompaniment to victims, survivors, and their significant others. Whereas ending sexual assault in Lake County must include active public and private efforts to speak out against sexual violence. And it is time for all of us to start the conversation, to take appropriate action and support one another to create safer environment for all residents. And whereas staff and volunteers of Lake County Family Resource Rape Crisis Center work year-round to encourage every person to speak out against sexual violence and to support survivors by providing prevention, education, and survivor empowerment information. And whereas Lake Family Resource and the District Attorney's Office Victim Witness Division, local law enforcement agencies, hospitals, and schools have set an important example of how foregoing collaborative relationships improve the quality of service for those impacted by sexual violence. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the City Council of the City of Clearlake does hereby designate the month of April 2023 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in Clearlake, and urges all local governments, schools, businesses, community members to participate in the sponsored events this month to increase awareness and public support for creating communities free of violence and exploitation. Let's try to drop that number from 473, shall we? Thank you all very much. Who would like to receive this? Okay, you saw how I did it last time, right? So come around here. Okay.
Last year I got to be on this side.
Well, I like it when you can see the TV, and I think that folks out there do too, and I know that we don't mind if you see. No. These guys are pretty cool. Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for this and thank you for being here. So Lake Family Resource Center and our Rape Crisis Center, we have served 79 clients and provide over 3,000 services. We have answered and responded to over 150 crisis calls. And we have housed 21 clients in our emergency shelter, which has been over 1,000 nights. We want to thank the Clearlake Police Department because you guys have been really great community partners with us and allowing us to support our survivors. So we have a couple events in April. Jitterbean in Lakeport, Sisters in Clearlake, and Studevakers in Kelseyville has the coffee sleeves. So go get your coffee sleeves because they're really cool. We also are going to have Denim Day on April 26th. So if you guys don't know, Denim Day started, I think, in 1999, and it started because an Italian Supreme Court overturned a rape conviction because they said the girl's jeans were too tight, and so she must have consented. She must have helped take them off, so she must have consented. So we wear denim on the last Wednesday in April to show support because our clothes don't equal consent. So thank you guys so much for this, and thank you for allowing us to be here. Thank you.
Please. Thank you, Chief.
I just want to thank all the staff at the Lake Family Resource Center for helping us and doing the work they do to help people out there in the community regarding all these terrible situations that occur. We definitely appreciate their work, and they make our jobs easier by providing us the support they need to help victims or potential victims in so many scenarios. So thank you.
All right, last but certainly not least, this is kind of a fun one, is designated the month of April 2023 as Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month. I can't draw stick figures, so this is beyond me. But for you artists out there, we appreciate you. Whereas the city of Clearlake celebrates the role that the arts and creative play in helping us navigate the pandemic, amplify the need for racial equality, and highlight the power of arts to change our lives for the better. Whereas Lake County Creative Consulting, Lake County Arts Council, Lake County Rural Arts Initiative, POP LLC, New Vintage Productions, and Middletown Arts Center work in partnership to support the arts and creativity in Clearlake as an essential part of our thriving community through services including POP Clearlake, Arts in Public Places, financial and professional support, and arts education and cultural events. And whereas the city of Clearlake works in partnership with local organizations to support the arts and creativity as an essential part of our thriving community through services including collaboration with Mendocino College and the Lake County Theater Company to present free performances of Shakespeare at the Lake in Austin Park during the summer visitor season. Creative Consulting, working on Clean California grant and Main Street project, in which 8 murals and sculptures will be installed throughout the city of Clearlake. And POP LLC, working with local artists, providing opportunities for artists and the public to enjoy and engage through art. And through Vintage Productions, working in partnership with Clearlake Community Senior Center to provide custom entertainment performances. The Lake County Arts Council and Arts in Public Places program in at Redbud Library. And the Lake County Arts Council holding therapeutic writing classes and the Clearlake Community Center. And whereas Art, Culture, and Creativity Month of April is the 5th annual statewide awareness and advocacy event that recognizes the crucial role of arts, culture, and creativity in the lives of everyone in California. And whereas the city of Clearlake recognizes that the arts and creativity support student success and lifelong learning, providing key job skills and bringing joy to our community while strengthening our connections. And whereas the city of Clearlake values partnering with the Lake County Arts Council, Lake County Rural Arts Initiative, and the Middletown Arts Center, and state level organizations to promote unified support for the arts. Now, therefore be it proclaimed that the City Council of the City of Clear Lake does hereby designate the month of April 2023 as Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month and encourages everyone to celebrate the power of art in our community. Thank you all very much. Is there someone from the Arts Council who would like to come up and see you? You're dancing fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I really want to thank the city. I have seen the strides that have been happening over the years to support arts and artists and arts organizations. You guys are doing an amazing job. If you can't see it, just walk a little bit and open your eyes and look at the sculptures and look at the murals and look at the happy people that are doing it. There's a lot of benefits to art other than the fact that it looks beautiful. Even looking in this room, I can see examples of why art's important. Art brings people together. Art allows you to highlight natural beauty. Art lets you establish your own culture, your own traditions. Art is a great thing that helps us build and become who we are. I want to recognize all of our cultural societies in Lake County, especially our native stewards, the Pomos and the 7 recognized local villages, as well as our vibrant Latinx community, as well as all the other organizations and people that work together. So thank you for your support. Please continue to do what you're doing, supporting the art and making the art. If you're not able to go and do things, you can do it at home. So I expect to see lots of art from all of you. Thank you very much.
All right, with that, I don't want to upstage anybody wearing a big yellow bright vest, but if I could have the members of our local Lakeshore Lions Club, please come forward. Because you have a presentation you'd like to make, Mr. Smalley.
I do. So,
Can you keep Alvaro away from the mic, though? Okay, good deal.
so I am the president of Lakeshore Lions. This is the Secretary Alvaro Valencia. And tonight, on behalf of the Lakeshore Lions, we would like to present the Highland Senior Center and Meals on Wheels program with this donation for $5,729. And we would also like to offer our gratitude for all the care that you guys give to our seniors. And it's more than just care. It's more than just the care that you guys give. It's, you know, it's a touch of the outside world to some of these seniors that don't get to see it. So who am I going to give this to? You do? Okay.
Come on, board, come on up.
Come on up, board. Didn't know you guys were here. I know you guys didn't have vests. So.
And everybody knows Joyce.
Yes, ma'am. And I know it's going to go a long way.
What's your title, David? Board of Director, past president.
I'd just like to say, I would just like to say that what Meals on Wheels does is just phenomenal. And oh, I hope I don't cry. Some of our seniors that do the meals, that go to the houses, see these people who don't see anybody else. They have no loved ones or neighbors don't check or whatever. And I have to say that this woman right here, I have seen her firsthand help people that just come in to the senior center and somebody will say, I lost my house. She helps them. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal. And people don't know that. Our senior center is kind of the best kept secret, I think, in Lake County, but it is a wonderful senior center. And I hope all of you will come and have lunch there. We have a wonderful lunch program now. And thank you again, Joyce, for all you do. And thank you guys thank you for this,
Yes,
really.
absolutely.
Go a long ways.
Okay, sure.
I do want to say that with our local Lions and also our Rotary, who has helped us out, especially through the pandemic, just to let you know, we would not exist. We absolutely would not exist because when the pandemic hit, we were actually closing down. So it's very important, donations we live on. That's just the reality. Our area agency does not fund our whole program. They only fund about a third of it, maybe a little more right now, but it's going to go back down as of July 1st. They've already warned us. So, one of the things we are doing to help is welcoming in our community into our senior center. So it is not just for the seniors anymore. We are open for lunch, and it's only $10. And you get a buffet style lunch that has 2 entrees to choose from. We have a buffet salad bar. So, and your drinks, you can't get that anywhere for $10, but that $10 helps support and keep the center open. So we do encourage you to, come to the senior center and have lunch. If you need a special place for meetings, well, we try to accommodate. We do have the judge's breakfast there on Thursday mornings, where a lot of you guys have been and seen, done presentations, so it's a very informational group, and you can have breakfast for $15. Pretty much get anything you want. It's just, you can't beat the price anymore. You can't even go to Jack in the Box and get a hamburger anymore for that price. So, we try to keep the price where we just can survive. We're not out to make money, but we are out to feed our seniors. And on the basis of what my president had touched on about, sometimes we are the only people that these people see in their homes. I mean, we've had incidents where, they're literally starving sometimes by the time we get to them, where we've had, unfortunately, our Meals on Wheels drivers, we have, one here now today. Sometimes they are the lifeline. They are the ones that call the ambulance because, they're so bad that they, by the time we get to them, they're sick. And sometimes it's unfortunate, but sometimes they pass away. My Meals on Wheels drivers are probably the most awesome people in the world because it is a hard job, because you do not know what you're walking into when you knock on that door. It could be sometimes devastating to them. And we've had some devastating things that have happened to our, that they find our clients, unfortunately. So we do want to thank our police department too, because they are very good about when I need a welfare check to step up and pretty much get out there immediately. And I appreciate that. So our city works really well, but without our groups and the Lions did awesome crab feed. We had a lot of fun doing that, huh? I had a lot of fun cooking. I didn't even know I was going to do that. No. But we had a good time. We had a good time. So I really appreciate the donation, and we thank you very much for all that you do for our community.
Joyce, do you need volunteers?
I'm looking for Meals on Wheels drivers right now. So yes, I need volunteers. So
What's the joy that a volunteer gets working with the seniors like this?
Well, one, they get to make a senior very happy, and they get to make me very happy. So, we do pay a reimbursement of $1 a mile, for our route drivers. We'll have 2 Meals on Wheels drivers here. They should tell you what the joy is of doing that kind of stuff. But I think it's making the contact and making those seniors that are homebound feel like there is somebody that cares. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, to us, a knock on the door is somebody's at our door. To them, knock on the door is somebody coming to sometimes save them, bring them a meal, something to eat, knowing that there's somebody they get to talk to for the day, so it means a lot to them. So our Meals on Wheels drivers are really the backbone of our Meals on Wheels program, because without them, of course, we could do nothing. So I have 2 of them here that are just awesome drivers, and they're very caring, and they'll even go back and take care of them even after they do their routes. So they've been really great. So you really got to love to take care of people, to be a Meals on Wheels driver. So, and these 2 that are here are very good. Stand up, guys.
There are blessings
2
involved
really
with
good
that
Meals
too.
on Wheels drivers.
Come on, get in the picture.
I think you have another couple of cards coming up.
Oh, I know. All right, well, we've concluded with the presentations portion of our meeting tonight. We'll be moving on to public comment. Public comment is a time for any member of the public to address the city council on any matter not on tonight's agenda that is within the subject matter and jurisdiction of the city. The Brown Act, limited only with a few exceptions, does not allow council members to discuss issues brought forth under public comment, so we cannot respond to comments made. The council cannot take action on non-agendized items, and concerns may be referred to staff or placed on the next available agenda if so worthy. I'm asking that public comment be contained within 3 minutes tonight. And with that, I have one card here. The first one I will call up is Mr. Don Weaver, who would like to talk to us about fixing the road on Maple Street. Mr. Weaver. Thank you, sir.
I've been living on Maple Street.
Can you get up to the microphone? Otherwise, the people out in Zoom land can't hear you.
I've been living on Maple Street since 2009. The road has always been bad there. It just seems every year we come down, my neighbors and I file a complaint and nothing gets done. And it's about time the street gets fixed because the water is staying there. People are driving up, going on my property, knocking down my post. And I don't have money to pay for it. I'm on fixed income. And this road has to be fixed.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Okay.
It happens that our Public Works Director is here tonight, so I'm just pass this to her. It has all your contact information on it.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay. On the next item, I'd like to call up, I see that we have similar issues by multiple people. So the first at the top of the list is Jean Yanich. So Jean, if you wouldn't mind coming up. But can I see a hand of anyone here to speak about animal control? Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to call Jean first, and then I'm going to ask our city manager, to provide some information that hopefully will at least answer some question or give direction. Ms. Yanich, please go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Jean Yanich. I'm here tonight to give an update to our original assessment of North Bay Animal Services on January 16th. At the request of a council member, please refer to the assessment provided. Recently, some issues have gotten much worse at the shelter. Some examples are the Giardia outbreak. It is not being dealt with in an appropriate and timely manner. North Bay does not want to spend the money to treat the outbreak. At Mark Scott's orders, volunteers are not being allowed to go into the shelter and walk the dogs. It is not because of a liability issue. It is an attempt to hide the horrible conditions at the shelter. Dogs are being left in small crates with no exercise or human contact. The public is outraged that their donations of blankets and bedding are being discarded after just one use because it's easier to throw them away than to wash them, to reuse. In the last few storms, dogs were left in small kennels with dirty blankets covered in feces in the public works garage in freezing temperatures. Before North Bay took over, Charmaine, Vicky, and one other animal control officer were doing an awesome job. Everything was clean and in wonderful order. Since Charmaine's injury and absence, issues have gotten much worse. North Bay is aware of all the public outcry and complaints. They are trying to spin the narrative and do damage control. Recently, some Clearlake dogs have been transported to North Bay in Petaluma. What is happening to these dogs? Are they being euthanized or adopted? There's absolutely no oversight or accountability at the shelter. How can the city council take the fiduciary duty and responsibility of how $370,000 is being spent if there is no accountability? I highly recommend that a committee be formed for the following: oversee vet care expenses, adoption numbers, true and correct euthanasia numbers. How many calls are received? What was the resolution? How many citations were issued? Accurate time North Bay is really at the Clearlake shelter. If North Bay will not agree or comply with the oversight, the vague contract should be canceled by the city of Clearlake. The city should request the police department take over the responsibility of animal control. Wouldn't it be great if animal control could work together with Charmaine's 501c and work together to make our shelter something the community could be proud of? Charmaine is a treasure to our community, loved by all. She needs more control to make positive change. And perhaps I'm going to have an appointment with Chief
Okay.
Hobbs.
Thank
to
you. Your
explain it.
time's expired, but I wanted to
Okay.
give you the chance to finish up. It seemed
Okay.
like you were close.
And thank you for your time. Oversight, oversight, oversight.
Thank you, Ms. Yanich. Mr. Flora.
I'm not going to respond directly to the things that were said there. I mean, some of which we may agree with and some of which I don't believe are accurate, but there's been a number of discussions about this with staff for some period of time. Chief Hobbs and myself met with Mark last week and discussed a number of these issues. And so I just wanted to share with the council and the public a few directives that I made earlier this week. And so there'll be some more follow-up in the future. But first of all, I've directed Chief Hobbs to perform an investigation into the list of allegations of poor shelter conditions, et cetera. And so he has assigned Lieutenant Peterson to work on that, and that's already started. And I've asked that that be completed within 30 days. So we'll be following up with those findings when that's complete. A few other things I'll just outline. I have given North Bay Animal Services 2 weeks to remove the animals from the Public Works shop area. When the new kennel area was installed, it was never the intention of the city to include housing animals in that portion of the building over the long term. So they'll need to adopt out or find other accommodations for the animals that are housed in there. So the only exception to that would be Chief Hobbs would be able to approve on an emergency basis temporary housing of animals in those kennels. You know, for example, a few weeks ago, there was an arrest warrant served where the person at that address had, I think, over 20 dogs there. And so we had to take those, and it takes a little bit of time. So that would be the only exception to that. The use of temporary cages, crates, or carriers is, no longer allowed to be used on a regular basis and should only be used for transport. There's going to be some changes to access to the facilities. There's some gates and things that haven't been working, and the public has been able to wander around through the facility in areas that should not be accessed by members of the public without someone authorized to be there. There has been issues with laundry, the washing machine and other things working. Those issues have been resolved. There is a need, I believe, for a heavier duty washing machine and so forth. We've looked into that, not just recently, but previous to this, and there's some issues with hookups for that. So we're looking into what we can accommodate to have maybe more reliable laundry services there. Our contract identifies that North Bay Animal Services follow UC Davis recommendations as a standard for cleaning in the kennels. So we're asking North Bay to provide the city a copy of their cleaning policy, cleaning checklist used by staff, so that we can verify that that is being done consistent with the contract and UC Davis's recommendations. The monthly report from North Bay Animal Services that is given to the city council each month, we've asked them to add some additional information, which includes the number of veterinary visits and the number of monthly spay and neuters that are performed. with Lieutenant Peterson's new role as oversight of the animal shelter, he's going to be meeting monthly with North Bay Animal Services and doing a walkthrough of the facility and sharing any information on issues that exist. And then this isn't something that I can direct, but we're recommending that there be some lead worker supervisor be appointed at the shelter. This is another complaint that we've heard, is just that some of the volunteers and others don't have someone on site to turn to for direction. So that's a summary of the items, and we'll be following up more in the future as the investigation concludes.
Thank you, Mr. Flora. In light of that information, I still have public comment requests here, and I want to honor each one of them. If your item that you wish to speak about was not addressed, or you have additional questions, please feel free to step forward. Next on my list is Kathleen Langus. If you'd like to speak, you're welcome to.
I'm Kathy Langless, and I'm not a really good speaker. I didn't write anything out. I just had some notes here. I just want to give you a brief summary about myself. I've been involved with animals in this town for years. I worked with Rita Animal Coalition. We did things to make money for spay neuter certificates, which I wrote. We did a lot of spay neuter in this town. And I've taken over 200 dogs down to Sonoma Humane on my dollar. Had 14 dogs at my home when for the city.
Foster them?
Fostered them, yeah, 14 of them. Plus more was coming in all the time. I worked with Lee Lambert, who we got along great. He was wonderful, and he made a big difference. But now, for me, it's a cat issue, because I live on a street. I've spayed and neutered all the cats since I've lived there 25 years. I feed them, and I get no help from anybody. I called the director of North Bay, whoever that is. Well, to begin with, there was a guy breeding at the end of my street, and I called animal control. I said, what can I do? And they said, you got to come down and get a complaint form, which I did. And I got some neighbors to sign some more. I took them down there. Nothing. He says, we'll trap them and fix them and bring them back. Nothing had happened. So I went down there. I said, what's going on? Well, he says, I'll get to it. He never did. So I called the head guy at North Bay. Never got a call back from him. I said, this guy has moved now, and I've got 20 cats left. I've spayed and neutered all of them, but 16 of them, but 4. I said, can I get help with 4? They go, oh yeah, no problem. Well, never heard anything from anybody. So I did them all myself. But something has to be done in this town. There's people in this town that care about animals, and it's coming out of their pocket, and they can't afford it. I'm out there in the rain, the snow, the heat. I feed those animals every day. You know, I'm trying to do the right thing here. I need some help, and everybody in this town does. People in this town don't have a lot of money, and it's costly to keep all that up. If we could just get some help with some spay neuter. We have nothing in this town. Lakeport has spay neuter, but you can't do it if you live in Clearlake. You can't go to the spay neuter in Lakeport if you live in Clearlake. So we're stuck. We have nothing. You know, it's a problem.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you care about animals, but if you do, you know, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I have to say. Charmaine did try to help me out there too when I went in, but nothing happens. I had a friend of mine who lost his cat. He went there, he called to get a cat. He saw a picture of him, wanted to adopt. They never got back to him. So I don't know what they're doing, but
Thank you for sharing that with us.
okay. And kudos to the police department for your response time. Love you.
Kathy. Okay, Rita, you're next on the list. Of course, of course. Just be careful charging the podium. We got big strapping police officers here to protect us.
Which one is he? I can handle him. I'm a senior citizen. They can't think of me. I'm older than dirt, you guys, okay? So listen to me. I have some.
First, can you
complaints.
introduce yourself for the
Oh,
folks who may not
okay.
know you?
Okay, my name. Why did you say that so smart?
No,
My
that was
name
me.
is Rita Lawfer, and Kathy and I Langlis, in 2001 started Animal Coalition of Lake County, and we had wonderful events, and we got a lot of animals fixed, but now we've got a problem, okay? And you know that I can tell about these problems. I have no problem saying, okay, this gentleman that's running this is not doing a good job. I called him 8 times in regards to a hoarder, because you have to follow procedures and get everything right. Not one time did they call me. So the last time I called there, they said to me, I said, you know, I don't want you to do anything. We'll take the animals. We'll find homes for them. You don't have to put them in the shelter. And the lady was so kind. She said, I'm so glad that you said that. I'm going to have the officer call you. Nobody ever called me. That was 8 times. There's no excuse for that, number one. Number two, we went to get dog food. And in fact, Jean was with us, and there was a few of us. We went and got dog food. We got like maybe 6 pallets. We couldn't bring them down there. And do you know why we couldn't bring them? Because if we brought them, he takes half down to North Bay. This is not acceptable. So I had to put everything in my garage. I mean, we went down and got all this. This is not the way it's supposed to be ran. And first of all, when you've got somebody that's taking care of this, I thought Hobbs and Snyder did a lot better job than this man. I'm telling you, you guys need to do something, because this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable at all. And then the grand jury called us to see why you guys that got our money, which you didn't give up our money, didn't fix all these animals. And who called them up for that? I'd like to know. I know that he probably did. And like I said, these things can't go on. We have to take care of those animals. And if we have to have events, and how many events did we have, you guys? Every year for almost 19 years, we raised all kinds of money. We never got help from anybody. We gave food, we gave medical help for these animals. We're going to have to start another organization, because it doesn't seem like anybody cares. And it's sad. It's sad because we've got a lot of people that can't afford to get these animals fixed. I'm over and tell them now. I'm finished.
Yeah. My name is Elaine Summit, and I worked with Rita for years at the Animal Coalition. We basically, every nickel that we made went to serve the poor and senior community with their spaying and neutering, their dog food. And sometimes, especially with the seniors, that little dog is their only companion. That's all they have, you know, and we're very distressed. Rita covered that. We were so surprised to get a call from a member of the grand jury wanting to know from us
why you guys weren't using the money to spay and neuter. And I said, they didn't get the money. I gave it to the girl that ran it because she had her own 501c. And do you know when all this problem started? Is when he found out that we gave her the money, and he put up such a fuss telling her that she better join his 501c, and treated her like hell I wish you know that too. Treated her terrible and insisting that she give her that money for his 501c.
Thanks, Rita.
Okay.
Appreciate
I
you.
just want you to know that the animal-loving, tax-paying citizens of Clearlake are 100% dissatisfied.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay. You're welcome, you guys.
Okay, and the last I have is Kathy Plowman. Kathy?
Hi, my name is Kathy Plowman, and I'm not a speaker. I want to thank, first of all, the police department. They have been fantastic to me and my mother. We've been taking care of the cats for 22 years around Clearlake, and it's coming out of our pocket. The couple of times I have gone down to animal control because Jameson Ranch told me that they were given food. I was told that they had none. And then I called Jameson Ranch and they say they got it and stuff. So somebody's not telling the truth here. And I want to tell you, I take the cats, people call me, and I take them to Napa to get them fixed because it's too expensive to get them fixed up here. It's for a female cat, it's starting at $800 for one cat. I can get them done for $75. That's ridiculous. We need a program here. We need people to step up. I spend all my time trapping and running around Clear Lake helping people. For 22, I moved up here in 99. I didn't realize, I'm from Napa Valley. I didn't realize the problem we had up here until my mom's car broke down and I had to start running around fixing cats and feeding them and stuff. The police department is fantastic. They watch after me and my mom at night. They wave at us. They are fantastic. I applaud them 100%. And as far as the director goes, I had a run-in with him several years back, and I do not like him. He got Wine Country very upset at me and stuff. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. So I don't trust the man. I don't like him at all. So I just want you to know that I'm going to keep going forward and doing what I have to do and stuff, but really would like Clear Lake to step up. We need a spay and neuter program and stuff. We got something in the works right now. We're hoping it's going to pan out and stuff, but we need everybody's help and stuff. I'm financially beyond broke. I spent every last dime I have on the animals around Clear Lake. And I mean, I spent every dime. And I don't have a penny to my name and stuff. And so I just want you to know that I love animals. I love people and stuff. And I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. But I do not trust the person that's running North Bay. I do not believe he should be running down. I think Charmaine should be running it if you want to know the truth. So
Thank you for your comments.
thank you.
And next I have Lee Acery. Come on up, sir. There you go.
I live at Mint Street and Arrowhead, and the traffic that comes through there is there all hours of the night and day, very fast. And the school is right next to me. And I just wondered if there's any way I can start getting people to check on the speed of the people driving by there. And since it is a school right there, you'd think that the consideration by the people driving the cars would be of concern.
Thank you, sir, for your comments. There's a couple of good-looking gentlemen back there in uniform. You might want to see if one of them,
Yeah.
I'm sure one of them would like to talk to you.
And that's about the extent of it. Thank you kindly.
Thank you, sir. He has issues with speed on Arrowhead at Mint. Arrowhead and Modoc, Arrowhead and Country Club, All right. That ends the cards that I've received. Is there anyone else in the chamber who would like to address the council during public comment? You know the deal. You've been here before, many times. Just fine. And just because you've been here before, I'm still going to ask you to introduce yourself and where you live.
My name's Margaret Garcia. I live here in Clear Lake. And I've been out of circulation for the last month or so, but I just wanted to commend, I guess, Public Works Department in cleaning up all of the snow and fallen trees and all of that. It seemed to be very, taken care of. And so I was pretty impressed by the speed in which things got done. The other is paving, and the one main part I wanted to discuss or let you know is the little stretch between little tiny stretch between Division and what would that be? by the park. Yeah, there you go. And there's just a little section that did not get done. And it literally is just holes. I mean, and people walk, to go walk to the park, and it's almost impossible to even walk through with all of the holes everywhere. So I'm not sure if that didn't get done because of maybe they're on the sewer line is still not up to par there, if it's got some issues regarding drainage, because that seems to be a problem. So it seems like you guys just kind of worked around that section, and I'm not sure why, but it'd be nice if someone took a look at that as far as the city pavement goes.
Sometimes inclement weather, poor weather, a lot of rain prohibits
Definitely.
that.
Yeah.
So maybe with spring coming and the rain subsiding, that'll help.
Yeah, hopefully they put that in their agenda as far as that.
I'm sure
that
Public
is-
Works is hearing your complaint.
Great. The last thing is just regarding the animal issues. I don't know if you guys have, there is a mobile spay and neuter vans that come into towns. And I don't know if you guys ever looked into that. And they have volunteer vets that do all of the spay and neutering. It's done on one day usually. But that would be something that might be helpful. Along with maybe asking for donations on food. I'd be willing to, of course, help in that regard, but that might be an option. So these gals aren't, paying out of their own pocket. So.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you. Nice to see you all.
Good to see you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council at this time? Madam Clerk, is there anyone on Zoom?
There are no hands raised on Zoom.
Thank you so much. That being said, I will close public comment, move on to the consent agenda. Is there anyone wishing to pull something from the consent agenda? Seeing none, may I have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
I'll second that.
Have a motion.
We do need public comment on.
Oh, I apologize. Anyone from the public wanting to comment on the consent agenda? Seeing none, now I will bring it back for vote.
And make the motion again, or?
Nope.
Good.
I have a motion to accept the consent agenda as submitted and a second motion by Councilmember Kramer, second by Councilmember Slotin. All those in favor? Aye. I hope my vote went through. It did. Results of the vote, Madam Clerk?
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Moving on to business, item 11, word of contract for the 18th Avenue Improvement Project. Mr. Flora.
Director Leba will present the staff report on this item.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. Tonight, the city council is being asked to approve a contract with Argonaut Constructors. The city advertised a notice inviting bids for the 18th Avenue Improvement Project on January 5th, 2023. This project was advertised on the OpenGov website, advertised in the newspaper, and sent to various builders exchange plan rooms. The city opened bids on March 16th from the following contractors: Argonaut, Team Gelati, Gelati Construction, and Granite Construction. Argonaut was the lowest responsible bidder at $4,632,295. Staff is recommending that the city council authorize city manager to enter into a contract with Argonaut Constructors for the 18th Avenue Improvement Project in the amount of $4,632,295, and authorize the city manager to approve up to 10% for additional unforeseen contract amendments. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your report. Councilmember Slotin.
Just a question. What was the engineer's estimate?
$4.6.
Pretty close.
Pretty good one.
Any other comments? Questions? I'll open this up for public comment. Anyone wishing to comment on this item? Now's the time. Seeing none, I'll bring it back for council debate.
I move that we approve the contract to Argonaut Constructors for the 18th Avenue Improvement Project.
Second. I have a motion by Councilmember Slotin and a second by Vice Mayor Claffey. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Madam Clerk, the results of the vote.
Motion passes with unanimous vote of the council.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on to item 12, award of contract for Dam Road Extension, South Center Drive Improvement Project. Ms. Addy?
Thank you again. Tonight, the City Council is asked once again to approve a contract with Argonaut Constructors. The city advertised a notice inviting bids for the Dam Road Extension South Center Drive Improvement Project on February 21st. The city opened bids on March 23rd, 2023 from the following contractors: Argonaut Constructors, Granite Construction, Wailati Construction, Consolidated Engineering, and Gelati Construction. Argonaut was the lowest responsible bidder. Funding for this project will come from the Caltrans Active Transportation Program Safe Routes to School Grant. Staff is recommending that the council authorize city manager to enter into a contract with Argonaut Constructors for the Dam Road Extension South Center Drive Improvement Project in the amount of $989,009.85 and authorize the city manager to approve up to 10% for additional unforeseen contract amendments.
Thank you, Madam Director. Councilmember Slotin.
Again, what was the engineer's estimate?
1 million.
Excuse me?
$1 million. Thank you.
Very good. Any other questions of staff? Open it up to public comment. Any comments on this item for the agenda?
Go ahead.
Mr. Falkenberg.
I apologize, I was unable to review the plans online. Several years ago, we were able to complete the Dam Road extension through to the avenues. Unfortunately, at that time, we were unable to afford to put in sidewalks. There was a school immediately adjacent to that extension. I'm hoping at some point in the near future, we are able to address the sidewalk question on that particular stretch of road going from the avenues down to the Walmart. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Mr. Flora?
Well, unless you want to.
Okay.
That is this project.
Yes, that is going to be a part of the project to have curb gutter and sidewalk on both sides of the road. Welcome.
I love
Only
it when a
one
plan
exception
comes
to
together.
that. There's a section where the housing development is proposed at the top of 18th. And so this project would go to their southern boundary and then they would complete the rest of it up to the top.
Thank you, staff. Bring it back to council for action and debate.
Mr. Mayor, I'm gonna beat Councilman Slotin to the punch here.
Good.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Argonaut Constructors for the Dam Road Extension South Center Drive Improvement Project in the amount of $989,009.85 and authorize the city manager to approve up to 10% for additional unforeseen contract amendments.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Councilmember Kramer and a second by Councilmember Slotin. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Madam Clerk, can you read the results?
Motion passes with unanimous vote of the council.
Thank you, council. Moving on to item 13 on tonight's agenda, consideration of sale of vacant land located at 16178 35th Avenue in the city of Clearlake. Mr. Flora.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, council member. So as you know, the city still has a number of surplus properties. This is one that I think we had listed previously, but didn't have an active listing on. But this property at 16178 35th Avenue. The adjoining property owner contacted a realtor who contacted the city and asked if they were able to purchase the property. We did a bit of negotiation, and we are recommending the council authorized me to sell the property for $6,950 with the buyer paying all fees.
Thank you, Mr. Flora. Any comments or questions for staff? Any comments or questions from anyone here? Anyone on Zoom?
There are no hands raised on Zoom.
Thank you all very much. Bring it back to council for action or debate.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the city manager to execute a sale agreement for the vacant land located at 16178 35th Avenue.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Kramer and a second again by Councilmember Slotin. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Madam Clerk, can you read the vote?
Motion passes with unanimous vote of the council.
Thank you very much. Next and last on our business agenda is to appoint an alternate member to the Lake County Recreation Agency JPA Board of Directors. Mr. Slotin, or I'm sorry, Mr. Flora, why don't you try this one?
I have
I
a
know.
comment in my head. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
let it go though.
I'm
Mr.
sure
Mayor,
you
council
do.
members.
It's been a long day for me, so please forgive me.
So very briefly, a few meetings ago, the council appointed 2 members to the Lake County Recreation Agency Joint Powers Authority, which was Vice Mayor Claffey and Councilmember Slotin. We had our first meeting, I think, just last week, which went very well, but at some point in there, we realized that there was a change in the bylaws made that asked for an alternate appointment from each of the agencies, which we did not initially appoint. So just asking the council to identify an alternate council member to serve in that role if the other 2 members are not available.
Mr. Kramer, you have a comment?
I'd volunteer if it's open to that.
That's what I was looking for. Does anyone have a problem with Mr. Kramer volunteering?
Nope.
I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say, did you talk to your spouse about this?
I'm an alternate.
Man, Mrs. Kramer, if you're watching
Give me a
tonight,
break,
I did
will
not
you?
do this.
We have a hand raised on Zoom.
It's not of my doing. All right. Any comment from those here in attendance? Open up to public. Any comment on Zoom, Madam Clerk?
There are no hands raised on Zoom.
Thank God.
You must not be watching. I'll bring it back for council action.
Mr. Mayor, I move to appoint Councilmember Kramer as the alternate for the Recreation JPA.
I'll second that.
Very good. I don't know if we need a vote. Do we, Madam Clerk? All right, we'll do it anyway.
Since it's in the bylaws of the JPA. we
All right.
probably-
I have a motion by Vice Mayor Claffey and a second by Councilmember Slotin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, look at that. We do get to vote. Any opposed?
Oh, I didn't know. I can't. There's no blue ticket there.
Go over there.
Oh.
Refresh.
Oh, okay.
Sure you want to vote that way? Okay.
Cool. All right.
All those, we have the vote in.
Motion passes with unanimous vote of the council.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, moving on to item I, City Manager and Council Member Reports. Mr. Flora.
Well, the first item on my list was to give you an update on animal control, but we've already had the opportunity to do that. So I won't go into details now, but some of you are involved with the Lake Area Planning Council, which received a presentation on the pavement management plan update for the 2 cities in the county. You can still add on. I just wanted to say that there's a lot of positives in the report for the city of Clearlake, and we're going to arrange a presentation to the council, hopefully at a meeting here very soon, so we can go over the details of that report. So the recycling center that used to exist in the city, as you know, has been closed for quite some time now. Try not to get too much in the details of this, but the operation of centers like that allow grocery stores to have an exemption from accepting those containers at the store themselves. All the stores in Lakeport have had that exemption for a number of years. Foods, etc., has had that exemption for quite a number of years because the state rules require that recycling center be within a half a mile of the store to get the exemption. But somehow they were able to get that. But nonetheless, suddenly this last week, all of the grocery stores in Clearlake received a letter from Cal Recycle saying that their exemptions were being revoked. And so, as you might expect, I did receive some phone calls about this, and I'm not sure what's going on. None of the grocery stores in Lakeport have had their exemptions revoked, which is a bit curious. So I've reached out to Cal Recycle and our state representatives, and hoping to get some answers on this soon, to try and help out our folks. So just for your awareness, in case you get any questions, trying to help support those businesses, get that exemption back. And then, of course, you know, there are still some efforts underway to establish recycling centers again throughout Lake County, because right now Robinson Ranchery is the only place that accepts those recyclables, although they do operate in a couple of the locations around the county on a very limited basis. We had a good design team meeting related to the Burns Valley Sports Complex today with city staff. So that project is going along well. They're expecting to have the plans complete towards the end of October, which will put us in line to get that out to bid over the winter and construction next year. Last week, we had an update on the Lakeshore Drive design work. No plans to share at this point, but it is coming along, and hopefully we have some concepts that we'll be able to share soon. I mentioned previously that we had applied for some funding to support housing projects in the city. There's a 2-phase application process, and that I believe I mentioned previously that we were selected to move to the second phase of that. The application was due on Monday. They gave a short extension, but in HCD's great bag of tricks, a lot of things have changed in the middle of this process that are causing us a lot of issues. So we're trying to work through those, and again, work with our state representatives to get a little support on this. It's quite frustrating. We are having to modify our initial request, but hoping to, still support some of the housing projects and get some other infrastructure improvements associated with those developments completed. As you know, we have been working for quite a long time on plans for some remodel work here at City Hall. That is nearing its completion. We don't have details on schedule yet, but at the recommendation of our architect, it's probably going to be necessary for us to relocate City Hall staff for a period of time during that construction process. The police department will maintain its operations. There will be a little work in their lobby, and we will still have council meetings here in the chambers. There won't be any disruption here. But we've worked out an agreement with Woodland College. So we will be moving all our administrative offices over to Woodland College for probably 3 to 4 months this summer while that work is complete. And we'll, of course, have to get a lot of information out to the public on making sure that they know where to find us. And we really appreciate Woodland College and the Lake County campus being willing to accommodate that. They have a building there that they're not really using at all that should allow pretty much all staff to be in one place there, which is ideal. Then
Do they have session during the summer?
Well, they will have some going on, but of course it's
student.
limited. Yeah. And so they think it'll work out just fine.
Thank you.
And then there'll be an additional disruption next week. city staff, almost entire city staff, all of Public Works, all of the administrative staff, and a significant amount of the police department will be attending the leadership training that we've arranged. And it will be in here Monday, all day Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We are going to keep the City Hall lobby open, so we will have office assistants that has been helping us. As a retiree from the police department will be there to answer phones and direct people, but it'll be a little bit longer duration on responses for some things until business operations are back to normal on Thursday. So with that, that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Flora.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
may I just clarify?
Next week,
It-
my apologies. Yeah, starts, what is the 17th?
The 17th,
Yeah,
18th,
17th,
and 19th.
Thank you for keeping him on task. I appreciate it. She does it well. Mr. Kramer, you had something you wanted to share? How about you go next?
I'll go next. Yeah, I did. I was the attendee at the Area Planning Council meeting, and I think, Addie, you were on Zoom for that meeting, so you heard the same presentation. The roads PMI, PCI report and the PMP program management or pavement management program. There's a lot of acronyms out there. At any rate, Clearlake is they were the shining absolute star in this report.
Who was?
Clearlake was.
Thank you.
So the city of Clearlake, as far as the roads in all of Lake County, we are head and shoulders above either the county or the city of Lakeport. You know, and this goes back, started it back in 2016 when the citizens of this city had enough trust in our city and our council to vote in on a 2/3 vote, the Measure V, that gave us the money to start the big program, the program rolling. And it certainly I don't think could have happened without the great leadership that our city manager has provided in finding grants to add to that. And of course, the PG&E money that we got that we were able to extend out to the beyond the park area. And our staff, starting with our Public Works, Addie, and our city engineer over there, I think you all have done a fabulous job to get this city to this report. And I'll save the details for this presentation you're going to make. So that's my report.
Thank you. Any other meetings you attended?
I don't know, did I?
I'm just asking. Didn't want to do over.
No, I'll let you do the
Okay.
ones that we attended together.
Councilmember Overton.
Okay, so I've been busy every other weekend out at Anderson Marsh for they're doing some presentations and some walks and stuff out there to encourage, it's for seniors, to encourage the seniors to get out and be active, more of a wellness program. So I was excited to help them. We collaborated to get a grant to be able to do that. It was booked before we even advertised it. Pretty much all of them were. So we were really happy to see that. And hopefully if this goes well, this goes through the end of June. And if it goes well, then hopefully we'll be able to do something else later on in the year again. And then maybe next year we'll do it for more of the community. We wanted to see how this worked, but it's working really well. We really enjoy it. I think our seniors are enjoying it too. It's really about education about the wildlife in Lake County, the lake. And we all know Larry, how Mr. Lyons, how he loves to sing and do his shows. So he did a very good entertaining. He's always entertaining with education. So I think that was probably the best ones for our seniors so far. They really enjoyed that. Last week was on Indigenous or the different things that the tribals contribute here. And we're going to be talking about the different native plants and stuff. So it's an educational thing for our seniors, but also, some activities for them to do. And hopefully later on the year, we'll be able to do more hands-on things is what we're looking for too. So it's been really nice working with the group there. They really are an awesome group and trying to keep that going there. So that's been very impressive. I was asked to speak at the Rotarian District Conference up in Ukiah. Spare of the moment thing, but very enjoyable. I went up there and talked to them about senior mental health. And we were talking about kids and seniors, so I got to incorporate some in both. You know, it's very impressive that the group really wants to start, you know, doing something more with you know, with mental health and getting involved. I like to see the civic groups doing something other than just raising money and doing this. So I'm very impressed with the way they want to go. It was very, very nice to see that, and it seemed like we had a pretty good group there. So nice to see that there was a big enough group of the Rotarians that were interested in the wellness program. So I was impressed with that. I met with our recreation director yesterday for our junior giants. His registration is open. Please go online and register. It's open until July 30 or June 31st, but we'll be playing by then. So please register now. So, and this is a free program. So I really want to stress that this is a free baseball program for our children. You know, their uniforms are provided, you know, all the equipment's provided. The Giants are wonderful. You know, it's really to get the kids that haven't been playing ball or don't know how to play ball or don't know if they're interested in playing ball. This is the way to get them out there to see. And it's also really good for the ones that have played ball to interact with them and help them. And if you're old enough, you can actually be one of our volunteers and coaches. So I encourage the high school kids to, you know, who come and be a volunteer, be a coach. We're looking for coaches. So, you know, you can get online and register for that also. There is a background check required for all volunteers, coaches, and otherwise, you know, so we're looking for team parents, anything, you know, so just get online and check that out.
To add on to that briefly, the participants all get invited to go to a baseball game for free and walk the field.
If you hurry up and get signed up now, we have 100 tickets that we have for April 11th.
Is there an age cap on that?
Yes, there is.
I'm too
We're
old.
not doing senior. Yes, you're too old. So though, actually it's for parents, children, volunteers, anybody that's going to participate. So no, actually, you're not too old. You can go.
Okay.
Yeah.
good
So
deal.
but for April 11th and April 12th, we have 50 tickets for each day. So and they like to see those seats filled. So if anybody, you know, is interested in going, they can contact Tina here at City Hall at extension 131, because we would really like to utilize those tickets and not see them go to waste. So unfortunately, I am not able to go, but it is a lot of fun to go to those. So so definitely go. The recycling thing, I have a question on that since you mentioned it. How are they able to charge if we're not able to have a place to take them back? I mean, so our community people, including me and all of us, are paying this recyclable money, but we're actually, you know, we're supposed to be able to get some of that back, but we're not getting, you know, so how is that? We're saying we want to go ahead and let them have all these stores to not have to do that, but how are they still able to charge if we don't have a place to take them back?
I would encourage you to talk to your state representatives about that. As
Well,
of
I'm
last
going to.
year,
I just wondered if you had an answer why they said
the
that.
state fund where that money goes had over $600 million in it, and they don't know what to do with it all.
Yeah, well, they can give it to me. I'll be happy to take it, you know, so. And last but not least, I have filed for a grant, and hopefully we'll know probably by the end of this month, to maybe help with putting up a veterans memorial, since we do not have anything like that here. And that was kind of one of those projects that when I started city council, I wanted to do, but kind of left it to the side because I didn't see it possible, but I just happened to find a grant. So hopefully that will come through. We'll still need to raise some money, but hopefully that'll give us a good start. And I met a wonderful lady, I can't pronounce her name, at the chamber dinner that does the art, that's taking over the recyclable art part of the murals.
That's, her name is Klita.
Nika Wong, yeah.
See, I'm glad I'm not the only one that has a problem with her name, huh? Anyway, who we will probably be talking, and we'll probably be coming to you to talk about maybe putting a mural on that big building that we have there, because she said she still needed places. So I thought maybe this might be an opportunity to do that too. So we'll be coming to a meeting with you as soon as we get together. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Overton. Councilmember Slotin, you have a list there.
I do.
You've been busy.
Oh, you know, I attended the JPA on the recreation facilities, and I was pleasantly surprised with the polling. It was just below the 2/3 vote, but there's way that we might be able to change that and with some more campaigning and some more media attention on this and what it could do for the county. I think it's feasible to get the 2/3 done. The other part is I've been over the last 3 months, basically been involved with the choosing of the chancellor of Yuba Community College District. And the last couple of days, there were interviews in Yuba City and in Woodland. Originally, they promised they would come here too, but that got kind of scrapped. We're talking about art today in town. Clearlake Pop, which is right across from Main Street, has an event tomorrow night. So a new artist in town that wants to show his wares. That's it. I do have one item that I want to put on the future agenda.
Yeah, I'll get to that in just a second. Vice Mayor, any reports?
I am looking forward to going to that gallery opening. Ms. Wong has been a bright spot in the community since she's opened up that studio. So I'm looking forward to it. At Rotary this week, we had a presentation from the Redwood Empire Food Bank. They give out food once a week here in Clearlake. I believe they also do it in Lower Lake, Kelseyville, all around the lake. They are looking for volunteers. So if anyone is interested in helping out, you can just go to their website. She gave a great presentation on all they do to serve our community. And if you have some time, feel free to pitch in. I was also at the JPA, and in that meeting, Councilmember Slutin and I made sure we alternated our vacations. So good thing we have an alternate now.
Here to serve.
But again, great results from the polling. I feel we have a wonderful team. We're united, Lakeport, Clear Lake, and the county. I really think this is something that we can get done. As you mentioned, the success with Measure V, Councilmember Kramer, and the great work that we've done there. Hopefully, we're starting to build some confidence within the community that our city staff can handle projects of these caliber and do an excellent job. So that's it for me, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you all. I appreciate your reports. I appreciate, the time that you spend to go to these meetings and to be involved in the public. And also thank your significant others for putting up with you going to all these different things especially Russ's.
Yeah, I've been warned too.
Yeah. So
My wife is a little more vocal, however.
she hit me up at the chamber dinner. I was very afraid for my life.
She beats up, yeah.
No, all kidding aside, I went to the chamber dinner. Recently, I want to thank our city manager. He did a great presentation on the current projects that the city is leading out with. I only heard one negative comment, which really wasn't negative. It was more kind of a, wow, can they really do all that? So now we got to get it done. The community's watching us. I thought that was a great dinner, good food at the Greenview. We like to go, the chamber likes to go around and kind of showcase some of the different restaurants and have the business leaders in our community get to experience some of their wares and their menu. So I thought that was a tremendous success. And again, thanks to our city manager for his presentation. I think they're doing some great things there at the chamber. I did meet with our senator, and I thank Vice Mayor for going with me. Meeting us there at the sauce shop. It was hosted by Senator McGuire, and also present were the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem from Lakeport, as well as the chair and vice chair for the county and the sheriff. It was very productive. It was a very, I think, I'd say robust conversation on a few of the items that came up here tonight. Senator was very interested in some of the issues that we're facing and wants to be a part of the remedy or support of working forward. I thought he was very receptive to our requests and our ideas, which is good to see. Senator McGuire, if you're not aware, is very active in Sacramento, and I think one of the main leaders there within the Senate and in the state leadership. So he's a good one to have on our side. And I'll just leave it there. I was pleasantly surprised. We were able to, he actually reached out to us and asked for our comments, which again, I think speaks to his ability to lead. And so it was, I hope we represented well. I think we did a great job, David. So thanks for going. And that concludes my report. Future agenda items.
Yep,
Mr. Slotin.
The county is getting close to a new ordinance on vaping and tobacco. My understanding is that in the second last part of April, they will have their first reading. I would like to see that on our agenda, and at some point in time that we can approve a similar one. So hopefully Lake Fork would do the same thing, so that the county is united in dealing with this vaping problem. As you know, you've all heard Betty Solarco, our superintendent of Canocti, talk about how kids are using vaping and how it affects their health, maybe 10, 15 years down the line, which is unknown at this point, but their focus in learning at their school. So I think it's I mean, we might not be able to do a whole lot, but at least we need to make people aware that we are involved in this issue. So.
Thank you. You're going to get an unintentional do-over.
Okay.
Because I saw your picture. And I don't know if I saw yours, Russell, or Vice Mayor's. I'd like to hear what happened at the Blue Zone ribbon cutting that occurred on Saturday. I saw you both there, I think.
Yes.
I wasn't able to attend, very disappointed I couldn't.
It was at the Blue Zone that actually they approached me as well about the vaping issue. So I'm glad you brought that up. I thought it was well attended, and I think it was pretty positive.
Yeah.
I tried to hit every booth just to talk to them and see what was going on.
Good.
Yeah, well represented, rather.
Those are great events. So thank you for attending them. Again, I apologize I wasn't able to attend. And the networking that can happen at those events. So I encourage all of us, staff as well, to if you're available and reach out and hit those booths. Because a conversation I had to connect Harry with a member of I think your team, if not you yourself, to see if we could get transportation or get those walks in the park. So I'm grateful to hear that the seniors are going out there and moving, which is one of the Blue Zone initiatives for healthy movement, natural movement, because we're going to turn the city around to become healthier, stronger, and more fiscally fiscally fit.
And fiscally
That too,
fit.
yeah.
And fiscally
Well, I
fit.
think those things go hand in hand.
They do. Anyway, thank you all. One future agenda, did we have consensus on Councilmember Slotin's agenda item request?
I'm in agreement.
Okay, so we have consensus on that. I would like Mr. Flora or someone you delegate. I'd like to know more about our opioid litigation and settlement. And if you could report out, I have an idea. I think I vocalized it our last, that I think that would be a great fund to go toward our college scholarship program, sponsorship program at Woodland College to help fund that for students who need help financially. But if you could bring that back, do I have consensus to get a report and an update on that? Thank you very much. I have consensus.
Just along that one, I mean, that's fine. We have received some of the funds. We've done a little research into what the funds are eligible for. And then the county's also organizing a meeting coming up soon with the two jurisdictions to talk about ideas on that. I'm not sure when that is, but it's coming up in the next few weeks too. So we'll kind of collect some of the ideas and we can talk about it more.
Thank you, Mr. Fleur. All right, at this time, we're going to adjourn the public portion of the city council meeting. We will reconvene in 5 minutes for closed session.